I'll get back to your calls in a moment, but Simon Marks, LBC's Washington correspondent, joins me to talk about a hearing that Ghislaine Maxwell appeared at yesterday, in which she took the fifth, as they say, and said absolutely nothing other than no comment, essentially. What was the hearing about, Simon?
Well, this was the opportunity, Sheila, for the House Oversight Committee to depose Ghislaine Maxwell as a key witness in their probe of the entire Epstein affair. Remember that the House Oversight Committee has been digging into Jeffrey Epstein's relationships with the wealthy and powerful over the course of the past year. They want to question a number of witnesses, including potentially later this month, the Clintons, both Bill and Hillary Clinton, who may be appearing before the committee towards the end of the month, although there's a lot of on again, off again, back and forth over the terms under which they appear willing to be deposed. But what happened yesterday was that Ghislaine Maxwell virtually was connected to the panel in a room on Capitol Hill from her prison, now, of course, a lower security jail in Texas that she was moved to several months ago after spending 2 days talking with President Trump's Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who also just happens to be President Trump's former personal lawyer. After those conversations, the terms of her incarceration, for reasons that have not yet been explained publicly, were relaxed, and she was moved from a higher security facility in Florida to that lower security jail in Texas. The committee had all sorts of questions that they wanted to ask Ghislaine Maxwell. What did she know? What had she seen? What light could she shed on the actions of the wealthy and powerful in association with Jeffrey Epstein? And to every question that she was asked, and the hearing only lasted 5 minutes because they gave it up after it became apparent that she was going to be pleading the Fifth Amendment, to every question she was asked, she took that option,
well,
which, of course,
why don't we have a quick listen to at least one of those moments when she did that? I think we should.
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the US Constitution.
What's behind this then? Is she's looking for some kind of pardon from Trump, is she? And she doesn't want to dob him in?
Well, so the tactic became apparent not through the words of Ghislaine Maxwell herself yesterday, but through an offer that was conveyed to members of the committee by her lawyer, who was sitting in that room at the jail down in Texas, and who said, look, Ms. Maxwell is very keen to answer all of your questions, provided that she is granted clemency by President Trump. So she's then free to speak without worrying about any risk of incriminating herself and facing additional criminal charges. And the offer that was made yesterday by the lawyer has actually been widely misreported. I mean, yes, the offer was to exonerate President Trump, but it wasn't only to exonerate President Trump, it was also specifically to exonerate former President Bill Clinton. This was a bipartisan offer that the lawyer was making. He wanted to grab the attention not just of the Republicans on that committee, but the Democrats as well. She is delighted to be able to tell her story, according to the lawyer, just as soon as Donald Trump grants her clemency, so she won't be at any further risk of additional charges, but also will be no longer under the yoke of the 20-year sentence that she is currently serving. Otherwise, the key witness to Jeffrey Epstein's affairs is going to clam up and plead the Fifth whenever and wherever she is asked questions under oath.
Well, deeply unedifying. You can see why she's doing it, but deeply unedifying when you think about the victims out there waiting for, if not actual justice, then some sense of justice and closure. Yes,
but also, Sheila, it reveals that there is a weakness in this congressional effort to get to the bottom of the Epstein affair. And of course, members of the committee came out, cited the need to get to the bottom of it in order to deliver justice to Epstein's many victims. But the difficulty they face is that Ghislaine Maxwell indicated yesterday how easy it is simply not to answer questions. Any witness can plead the fifth. The Clintons can plead the fifth if they want to. Anybody else who's dragged before the committee, including Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Lord Peter Mandelson, both of whom now wanted for questioning, they can plead the fifth as well, which sort of reveals the fact that this congressional committee can very easily be neutered in terms of any fresh information that it wants to overturn because of that protection against self-incrimination that witnesses in the American justice system are offered.
Whether they're American or not.
Yes, it covers anybody. I checked into that yesterday because, of course, there are issues relating to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Lord Mandelson because, of course, they are British, they are not American citizens, and they are not American residents. The committee, as Ro Khanna conceded in an interview with Tom Swarbrick yesterday, does not have any power to compel them to testify. It can throw subpoenas at them if it wants, but they have no standing in British law. So Ro Khanna was indicating that he would appeal to the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, or whoever is in number 10, to put pressure on the Prince, the former Prince, and Lord Mandelson to appear. But even if they agreed to appear by video link from the UK, they could both, under the terms of American law, even though they are non-citizens, plead the fifth, which, of course, would result in the committee getting absolutely nowhere beyond being able to shame them publicly for having essentially refused to cooperate.
Interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Simon. Simon Marks, LBC's Washington correspondent.